It's live.
And we are live.
There we go.
Okay. Welcome to another edition of Peace Pipe TV. We definitely have a treat for y'all today. We thank y'all for being here. We're going to talk about child support today. We're going to talk about, well, this is like a series of things we're going to do, like child support, student loans, things like that. We're going to do that because there's a lot of things that are ailing our people. And it's not just our people, but, we're talking about our people. Like things like child support that are really messing with our people. Just think about it. A lot of you brothers and even sisters too, because there's a lot of sisters that's on child support. And I'm here to tell you if I'm the first, if not last, to tell you that child support is fraud. Child support is a way that this occupying government uses to extract funds from you and your offspring, your human offspring. So we're going to go right into this. And what I want people to understand is I'm not saying do not support your human offspring. You are to support your children. You are to support your significant other. You are to do that. Most definitely. But you do not need a second or a third party source to tell you to support your children. You don't need that. So I'm going to go to the goddess. Do you have anything you would like to add?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Well, we'll let people come in. If they miss anything, then they can rewatch this because this is definitely something that you do not want to miss. So I'm gonna just go in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just go in. Okay. So child support is fraud. We all know that. I know that it bothers a lot of our people. And if you don't pay it, you go to jail, as they say. So this is how to, stomp them out. This is going to give you a clear mindset of what you're up against. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of how to beat them. I'm not going to do that. We do offer a service for that. But also, I'm going to show you what they're doing to you. Now, as always, I like to show proof of, what I do with, what Wyatt Tribe does, because I don't want to, talk and then to not show proof. This is a termination that we got a long time ago, 2020, with a brother that, doesn't mind that his name's up there. He doesn't mind. So if you look at it, this was May 1st, 2020, Child Support Recovery Unit. They're saying the Child Support Recovery Unit will terminate its services on the effective date shown above. The reason for ending services is the alleged father is excluded by court decision. If you do not agree, which who wouldn't, that services should end, you may discuss the decision with us. The decision will be explained, and you will have an opportunity to show why you disagree. You may speak for yourself, or you may have an attorney. We don't need to go into all that. They terminated the service, as they should. It's fraud. This is the same thing. This is how they were getting him and all this, that, the other. It's kind of a before and, after they sent it to the, the other party or whatever have you. This is another one. The other one was Cuyahoga. This is another one. I'm sorry. The other one was Iowa. And this is Cuyahoga. They terminated his withholding of his assets immediately. And this is somebody I also helped. He just wanted to get it off of his credit. Also, we do offer credit services as well. That's another thing we offer. As you can see here, this is how much, the amount owed. So there's quite a chunk of change there. $75,000 worth of child support there that was erased off of this brother's credit report. As always, I mean, everybody knows I'm a big, huge Matrix fan. So with that being said, I offer you as always, the blue pill or the red pill. Blue pill, I mean, I hate to put it blunt like this, but you can stay Title 4D services, bitch. Red pill, you can become a man or a woman, and you can basically tell them to kick rocks and kiss your ass. And you can take care of your human offspring with your, ex significant other or whatever have you, whatever you choose to do. We already talked about the blue pill. But essentially, what this is all boiling down to is corporations. There are no humans, no men, no women, no children inside of those courtrooms. Those are not Article 3 judges. Those are not Article 3 courtrooms at all. They're not. They're lying to you. And we're going to get into that tonight in this small little synopsis. So a lot of you should be familiar now of how they're doing your name with the all caps and whatever have you. You should be familiar with that by now. And how they have you on the New York Stock Exchange. So now, what is child support? Child support is Title 4D. That's what it is, Title 4D. You guys should Google that and get very familiar with Title 4D, because that is what child support is underneath. You see, child support, Title 4D of the Social Security Act. Title 4D establishes a state-federal partnership. Notice it says state-federal partnership. The reason that they keep coming after you like that, and they come at you so hard, they come at your neck like that, is because the state, whatever state, the state of you're in, notice it's always in bold letters, the state of. They come at your neck like that because the state of gets federal funding from the federal government. So for every dollar they get in child support means they're getting double in federal matching at the end of the year. This is why they come at you like that. So it says Title 4D of the Social Security Act. Title 4D establishes a state-federal partnership to provide child support services. States must have a single statewide agency that receives the federal funding and administers the program. States are permitted to fund local jurisdictions, right? So now, child support also is under something called 42 USC 666, requirement of statutorily prescribed procedures to improve effectiveness of child support enforcement. So that's crazy. So all my, Bible thumpers there, 42 USC 666. That's crazy. Can we say satanic cult? So child support also is a business. How do we know that? Child support has an EIN number. Child support also has a Dun & Bradstreet number. I don't know which city you guys are in or state you in, but this is the Cuyahoga Support Enforcement Agency over in Columbus and Cleveland, Ohio. They are a company. They're a business. And they're a part of the executive branch, not the judicial branch. So that's crazy. That's a conflict of interest. That's a violation of the Separation of Powers Act. Okay? Red pill. I'm going to turn you into Neo or Trinity in the Matrix. You need to understand this. You obtain our services. We literally, it's not fun when the rabbit got the gun now, because now they're going to run from you. But you got to understand this is not easy. You got to be willing to put in work. You got to be willing to not be scared of these people, because they're really a company. You're not scared of McDonald's, are you? If you work for McDonald's or Burger King or Walmart, you're not scared of them, are you? You could just quit. So what they're going to do, take you to jail if you quit? No. So there's a big loophole in this whole child support industry. Let's get into it. Let's go down the rabbit hole, as we always do. Child support. Payment made for the support of the children of divorced or separated parents. child support is really for a person who got married. It's not for people who just happen to have casual sex and decided to, well, this ain't for me. Well, I'm pregnant. Oh, okay, well, you could raise the baby by yourself. It's not really about that. It's not really about that. They're actually tricking you. That's how they get you. They're tricking you to make you think that you are the father, or you have some type of obligation. You do have an obligation if you lay down and create a baby. You have an obligation to that child, yes, but not in the way that they're saying. It says, while the children are minors or until they reach an age set by the separation agreement or in a court order, compare alimony. Child support is usually paid by the parent who is without custody. Remember that word, custody. We're going to go right back into that. In the case of joint custody, both parents usually pay child support, right? What is a parent? It's a parent, really. A parent who begets or brings forth offspring. Now they're trying to trick you, especially the natural parents of a child born of their marriage. The biological father of an illegitimate child is usually not considered the child's parent, absent of a judicial determination of paternity. So that right there confuses people, because they go, well, aren't I a father? Technically, no. You are not the legal father. There's a difference between a father and a legal father. There's a difference between a legal mother and a mother. So notice they said absent a judicial determination of paternity. Remember that. There have been exceptions based mainly on the father's attitude toward support of or involvement with the child. So a lot of you are in these relationships where you have a stepdaughter. So your attitude towards the daughter, they can literally make you pay child support. I can show you several examples. This whole system is messed up. You can Google this. There's a guy that went to prison for paying too much child support. That's ridiculous. Let's go. A person who legally adopts a child, a person or entity that owes to a child a legally imposed duty of support, a step parent where designated by statute, an entity or group that gives rise to or acquires another, usually subsidiary entity. So it said illegitimate, remember, right up here. The biological father of an illegitimate child. What this illegitimate means: not recognized by the law as offspring, born out of marriage. An illegitimate child, or usually legitimated by his or her parents' later marriage. Illegitimate children generally have the same inheritance rights under interstate successions as legitimate children. Statutes limiting their inherited rights have been found to violate the Equal Protection Clause, right? So who really owns the child? People should be wondering that. All the play on words. Who really owns the child? Now, let me show you that you do not necessarily own the child. Let me show you that. So really what they're doing to you is, when you go in there and you say that when she goes in there and says that, well, the child is this, that, the other, you go get benefits and all this, that, the other, they're presuming the child to be abandoned ship. They're assuming that. So that you creating a trust, essentially. So you're adopting the child after you go, the little status thing where you go get a birth certificate and all that, the other. You're technically writing the child off as abandoned. So the state gets involved. So you abandon the child. So now they create a trust where it's you have elected to be the trustee, the wife is the non-custodial parent, and the government is the beneficiary. And the trust instrument is, you guessed it, the child. Let me give you an example of how they do this, a play on words. This is Superior Court of Fulton County. This is Georgia, I believe. What is child support? Child support is assistance, usually financial, which is owed by parents, there go that word again, to and for the benefit of a child. It is the public policy of the state of Georgia to require parents to provide adequate support for their minor children. Parents cannot waive a child's right to receive child support. They're telling you right there on the play on words and the way that they worded it that the child is really the property of the state of Georgia. So you don't really own the child like you think that you do. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why another reason that you should not get married with the state. Because when you have a state marriage or you go to a birthing center, which y'all call in a hospital, you are presupposing to, like I said before, to abandon your offspring to the state.
Mhm.
And then the adopting process begins. So then adopting your child, you become the legal father, which is the trustee. That's what they're doing here. So that's when the marriage comes into play. So they're assuming that you and this woman were married, even if you wasn't. And nobody ever, say that, well, no, we're not married. They never step up because ignorance of the law is no excuse. You can't just think that they're going to assume. So marriage is the state of being united to a person of the opposite sex as as husband or wife in a legal, remember that word, consensual and contractual relationship recognized and sanctioned by and dissolvable only by law. So really a marriage is just a contract between you, the woman, and the state. As I just said, it makes you the trustee, the wife automatically the non-custodial parent, and the government the beneficiary. This is why 9 times out of 10, they give the child to the woman because she is technically, she is the non-custodial parent. There was a case where a man was trying to get custody. Matter of fact, it was in Ohio. He was trying to get custody of his daughter because the mom was like doing drugs and had people around the baby that were detrimental to her. They would not give this brother the baby. So the mom ended up killing the baby. See, they make it hard for you as a man, even as a woman. But marriage, what is a marriage? So all you brothers and sisters who are going out there getting married with the state, you got to understand, you need your own jurisdiction because you're making a civil contract. So now, excuse me, what is a marriage? Marriage is a civil contract to which there are 3 parties. Wait, did I say 3? Did I read that right? The husband, the wife, and the state. And it is regarded as a status. So when you get married, your status changes. The woman's status change, your status change. Based upon public necessity, wow, public, and controlled by law for the benefit of society at large. And there's the case law. So when you get married to Jamal or Cindy or whoever you're getting married to, Javier or whoever, it benefits the society. They are banking on you to fail. They don't care if you fail. They don't care if you succeed, because at the end of the day, they're going to get paid either way it goes. And at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, out of a marriage, you're going to produce what? Children that can be used publicly. So you send them to public school where they further get indoctrinated. And then the cycle continues. So one of the contractual obligations of the marriage contract is the duty of the husband to support the wife. And this contractual obligation cannot be abrogated without the consent of the third party, the state. So the state become your daddy. Remember how you couldn't go nowhere or do nothing without your parents' permission? Same thing with a marriage. So all you people who are on child support and you are married, you have made a civil contract with the state. Now, how much better would it be if you are in your own capacity your own jurisdiction, and you decide to make your own marriage license. You both pledge your vows to each other. Remember how our ancestors used to do? I'm not talking about way back when. I'm talking about 1900s when they got married. You know, I'm talking about when we were able to marry. We just wrote it in the Bible. We had a pastor come out. We ain't really get no marriage license. The reason they even got the marriage license is to keep track of so-called black people marrying so-called white people. That's why. So we got to understand, you have protection in law. So how about Title 18 USC 77 1592? That's trafficking in slavery, peonage. So ain't that what they doing? Child support is slavery. You have Title 18 USC 241, conspiring against your rights. Because they are violating your rights. They're really violating your Fifth Amendment right, your right to due process. Title 18 USC 242, deprivation of rights under color of law. So essentially when you go to court and they find you guilty, you're not getting arrested for child support. You're not getting arrested for a debt, because that's how they get you. Because there's an ex parte Davis that states that child support is you can't get arrested for debt, and it's a gender-based crime. So men typically go to jail for child support. So you're getting arrested for contempt of court order. So when they find you in contempt and they send you to jail or prison, they make you work while you're in prison, while you're incarcerated. They make you work and pay child support. Can you say peonage? That's exactly what that is. Child support orders are not court orders. This is why when you go and you look at a warrant for child support, this is why when you look at it, it doesn't have a judge's signature on there. So for people who are not married, how do you get put on child support? You get put on child support for one word: acknowledgement. What does acknowledgement mean in law? The act of acknowledging, the act of admitting paternity. So when you sign that birth certificate, you're waving your hand saying, yeah, I'm the legal father. So it is prima facie evidence that you are the legal father. Remember, legal father and father are two different things. They're playing a word game with you. I always said, if the government had an album, they have the hottest album in the world because their wordplay is sick. So when you go and you look at the birth certificate, every state has this. You might have it, you have it in your state. It might not be called this. This is prima facie evidence that against you. So it's called the birth certificate affidavit. The acknowledgement, there go that word again. The acknowledgement of paternity affidavit is a legal form. There go that word again, legal. Legal form. Unmarried parents complete to add the biological father's name to the child's birth certificate. By signing the form, parents, because you're paying rent for your child. It's not even your child. Parents are establishing paternity for their child, meaning legally recognized fatherhood. Let's go back up for a minute. Legally recognized fatherhood. Remember, it said the illegitimate father or child, right? The biological father of an illegitimate child is usually not considered the child's parent, absent of a judicial determination of paternity. Remember that? So now, 1 second. Give me 1 second, yeah.
No, without that document, without signing that, then paternity is not verified. So therefore, that person or that man is not the father.
Absolutely. I'm back now. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's how they track you. So remember, if you acknowledge that you're the father in the birth certificate, now you become the legal father. So y'all happen to just get into a fight, God forbid. She runs, y'all separate, you're paying child support because remember, it's not your child. So they can tell you what to do with this child. You have acknowledged that you're the trustee. Remember, there's no man or women there's no flesh and blood in these courtrooms. It's all instruments. It's all entities. And they're persons. That word is being thrown around in this courtroom a lot. So the term person is defined in 18 USC 2510(6) to mean any individual. And remember, individual can mean the same thing as person as well. To mean any individual person as well as natural and legal entities. It specifically includes the United States and state agents. According to the legislative history, only the governmental units themselves are excluded. So are you a person? And if you are, what kind of person are you? So the name of the game is to make you become an obligor. And if you break the word obligor down, it means deadbeat. This is why they treat the obligor like that. The obligor is the person who has to pay child support. They treat you horribly. Like you could be on time with child support. They treat you like you're a deadbeat, like you're the scum of the earth. That's how they be treating some of these cats. So obligor, the person who has engaged to perform some obligation, one who makes a bond. So you took an oath to be their trustee, and you never was told the ramifications of the contract. So anytime when you have contract law, if you're not told what happens in the contract, if you're not told, it automatically is a rescinded contract. They never told you that if you signed that birth certificate, they could get you for child support. They never told you if you signed that marriage contract that, you know, she could take all your stuff away from you. They never told you that at all. So that wasn't disclosed. So that means that it's fraud. So you notice it said that you have engaged to perform. How? We already discussed that. You got married with the state, or you got you signed the birth certificate affidavit. So now obligor again, person who binds himself to another by contract. Ooh, now we have a contract in play. Now we have a contract in play. So where is there a contract in child support? Once again, the birth certificate affidavit and also the marriage license. Government is a religion. There's no separation of church and state. That's bullshit. Judges are governed by canons. That law form is derived from ecclesiastical law. Notice that the judge, you know, forgive me, judge, I have broken the law. This guy, you know, bless me, Father, for I have sinned. The outfits look similar, don't y'all think? Look at that. Same thing. Same thing. One trying to send you to jail and one trying to send you to hell. They both why do they rhyme? So the merging of two rams, you have the courtroom and the cathedral. You have a plea, which is, you know, you're praying. You have bail, you have Baal, you have taxes in the government, then you have tithes in church. In court, you're a debtor. Church, you're a sinner. In court, you're a surety for, you know, a debt. And then in church, you're a sacrifice. It's all about sacrifice and death. Court, you got remedy. Church, you have redemption. Court, you have salvage. Then you have salvation. You see that? Contract, covenant. All of this is all a play on words because essentially they mirror each other. This is why I can open that Bible and show you what they're doing to you in law. Because under Public Law 97-280 and the Lemon Test, they're really using this book. It's the way to play the game. So that's why I'm telling you, don't get rid of your Bible. It's not just a religion. It's not even a religious book. It's really trust law. So the Pope, he can, remember, they said right here that judges are governed by canons. That law form is derived from ecclesiastical law. Under ecclesiastical law, Elements of Ecclesiastical Law, Volume 1, 53 and 54, the Pope can abolish any law in the United States. Any law. And trust and believe, all of these people know that. All of these lawyers know this. They can't help you. Why? Because they have a bar card. They'll lose their bar card if they told you all this stuff. They took an oath to uphold this. Everybody got their hand in the pot. Even Walmart, Walgreens, Walmart, CVS, they all have their hand in the pot when it comes to child support. They have something called a Hague Convention, and different countries have their hand in the pot to get you for child support.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. It truly is. It's insane. There it is right there. On national canon law, we just talked about canon law right up there, didn't we? Judges rule from canon law. He's in on this too. The banks rule the courtrooms. The banks rule the courtrooms. So the bank is ruled by who? The Pope too. And them in the little hats, they're all one and the same. Don't get it twisted, y'all. This is bigger than just you having sex with her. This is bigger than that. This is for your children. Children are very important. They're very important. Children are very important. This is your human offspring because they're the future. They're the future. Okay? So it's a contract. But contracts can be broken. It's not the end all be all. This is why over here, we teach contract law on a different level. This is greatness on a different level. You want to learn contract law? We'll teach you contract law. You'll be just as good as any lawyer. Believe that. We promise that. Now, in these courtrooms, they're not real judges. I'm about to prove that. They're not real judges in these dog and pony kangaroo courts. They're not real. So there's no reason to fear them. There's no reason to go in there like, oh, they're going to take me to jail. They're not Article 3 courts. Family court is not an Article 3 court. They're about as real of a judge as Steve Harvey. There's this guy. Are you afraid of Steve Harvey if you go to his courtroom? Man, let Steve Harvey tell me I'm held in contempt of court. I'm going to smack that mustache off his face. Now, remember, child support is under Title 4D. This right here, Section 8, Child Support Enforcement Program. This is their manual. I didn't write this. This is their manual. See? You can get a copy of this right now. Just type it in. This is their manual. Now watch this. This is what they're saying. I didn't say this. Micco Wolf didn't say this. Phoenix Nadie didn't say this. Let's get it. Most child support officials view the growth of expedited administrative processes as an improvement in the child support program. An expedited judicial process is a legal process, there go that word again, a legal process in effect under a state's judicial system that reduces the processing time of establishing and enforcing a support order. To expedite case processing, a judge surrogate is given authority to take the testimony and establish a record, evaluate, and make initial decisions, enter default orders if the non-custodial parent, remember that, the non-custodial parent does not respond to notice or other state service of process in a timely manner, accept voluntary acknowledgement of support liability, and approve stipulated agreements to pay support. In addition, if the state establishes paternity using the expedited judicial process, the surrogate can accept voluntary acknowledgement of paternity. Judge surrogates are sometimes referred to as court masters, referees, hearing officers, commissioners, or presiding officers. They're not judges. They're not judges. Now, you hear the word non-custodial parent, which breaks down to the word custody. Custody can mean the care or control or possession of a thing or person, which is a corporate fiction, right? They tricked you. Yeah, they got you. They tricked you into being the trustee of their created person. This is why when you went down there, the first thing they do is they give you a birth certificate, then they give you the SSN. So that's why it's in bold letters. You guys heard this before. They call it the Strawman, but in law, it's really called the in Roman law, it's called the Picnus. It's also called the Strawmanus Homo. Strawman is homo. That's what they created. That's theirs. That's not yours. That's why these brothers that, oh, go capture the straw man. That's BS. It's not yours. Look on back of your social security card. It literally says that this is property of the Social Security Administration, and we can ask for it back at any time. You see, it's not yours. What entity do you control, though? It's a very good question. So they tricked you into being the trustee of their created person. The custodian is the person that acts in the best interest of the child. It's a trust. So they're going to put her up there. She's like, oh, snap, I'm getting these food stamps. I'm getting this. I'm getting that. Of course, they're going to take care of her because she is their best interest, because she controls the trust instrument. So they can further indoctrinate this child so they can have workers.
So this is what they mean when they say that with the birth certificate and the social security card, that it creates a estate or a trust, like how people are trying to tap into that estate, those funds. It's not necessarily, I guess, the straw man situation, but the trust that is created by signing that birth certificate for the child, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it'll be like if you started a thank you, my brother. It'll be like if you started a let's say a trust for your children. You're going to leave them some trust instruments. You might leave them a house, a car, some money, shoes, whatever have you. They did the same thing when you signed that signature. They did the same thing, but they just put the woman as the best interest for the child. Mm-hmm. You see what I mean? This goes back to slave times. You see what I mean?
It's almost like protecting their assets.
Absolutely. So the child is really who they're after. They need the child because in the near future, the child is going to do what? He or she or they are going to get older, and they're already indoctrinated. So as they indoctrinated, the cycle continues. So they can still have more people, and then they're going to indoctrinate. Go ahead, Bo.
Not only that, too, they also put them on the stock market, so they raise in value.
Exactly. That's what this is about. It's bigger than, oh, well, he's not going to raise his kids. Okay, we'll help you. No, it's bigger than that. It's like, how can we get in?
Just protecting that asset.
Absolutely. So remember, these are not judges. No reason to be afraid of them. These are not judges. They're dressing up as a judge. They're not a judge. Like I said, they're about as real of a judge as this guy. So an attorney's not going to help you. Why? Because under the corpus juris secundum, look at this. An attorney, his first duty is to the courts and the public, not to the client. So you go ask your attorney, you go ask him, like, hey, how can I get off child support? Like, you need to help me, yada, yada, yada. He's going to say, well, we're going to try to lower it as possible, or, we're going to try to do this. He's not going to help you. He can't. And also, this is a conflict of interest. Because if you look in the judicial handbook, a judge is not allowed to sit on a case that he or his family members have a financial interest in. So if you look at where child support goes, follow the money. If you look at where it goes to the treasury. The first thing paid out of the treasury is the judge's salary. So he has a financial interest. So what you think he gonna do? He ain't gonna rule in your favor. He gonna say, well, $20,000. Damn, judge, $20,000 for one child? You crazy. That's why them judges be living large like that. They don't give a damn about you. Family, y'all got to keep y'all business out of their jurisdiction. Create your own. This is why they tell you in Article 1 that they can't infringe on your contracts. Make contracts. Y'all get together. Y'all have your own jurisdiction. Okay. Y'all good. Y'all golden. Okay. It doesn't work out. Y'all got contracts in place. In the event it don't work out, okay, I'll still be there for my children. You don't run to Rome or whatever. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. It protects you. It protects your children. So as it says right here, his first duty is to the courts and the public, not to the client. And wherever the duties to his client conflict with those he owes as an officer of the court. Yes, your attorney is an officer of the court. Attorney means to attorn. Look at that word up. It's not good. Officer of the court in the administration of justice, the former must yield to the latter. He's not there to help you. He's going to help his masters. So what is the legal relationship between an attorney and the client? According to the section 2 and said section 7, we find that the clients are the wards of the court. You're a ward of the court. You're considered incompetent. You're considered a child when you have to hire an attorney. But don't get scared. Don't get discouraged because, some of us, don't know law, but you should. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Everybody's supposed to know law, every man, woman. I'm not saying don't hire an attorney. I'm not saying that. But if you hire an attorney, make sure you on his or her ass. Make sure they know you work for me. But you're supposed to know law. So when they move left, you're like, wait, why are you going over there? You're supposed to move right. They move right. Wait. You're supposed to go left. You're supposed to know that. But they're considering you a ward of the court. So a client is one who applies to a lawyer or counselor for advice and direction in a question of law. Let's go down. An attorney expecting professional advice. Clients are also called wards of the court in regard to their relationship with their attorneys. Let's go down. What is a ward of the court? According to a court case, wards of court are infants and persons of unsound mind. They're considering you stupid. Wards of court, infants and persons of unsound mind, placed by the court under the care of a guardian. You ever hired a lawyer for a case and you like, I'm sure I'm going to win. Then he got you like a small amount of money or he didn't win and you thought you was going to win. You had the case in the bag. They don't give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about you. Remember up here, they said judge surrogate, right? They said judge surrogate. Okay. Judge surrogate. Now let's go down. What is a judge surrogate? Surrogate. One acting in the place of another. So what they did was just went to go grab people and put them over to, this courtroom. So they're in place of real judges. They're not real judges. One acting in the place of another. One standing in local parentis to a child. The judge or judicial officer of a surrogate court or surrogate office. And that when people have babies is a surrogate, one stood in the place of your husband or whatever have you. He's not the real father. They're not the real parent. You feel what I'm saying? They're not the real judge. They're standing in the place of. So what you guys should be asking these judges is, number one, the court, where's your charter? Where's your oath of office? Where's your surety bond? Oh, yeah. These judges, which are public officials, which really work for you, mind you, they swore an oath on the Constitution to protect you. But seeing that you don't know this, they're going to railroad you each and every time. And what hold these people is their oath of office. They have sworn an oath, and underneath their oath is a surety bond. Yes, they're insured. They're insured to protect you. So them being insured, you can file claims and charges on their surety bond. And if they get a high claim, then the insurance is not going to want to pick them up. They'll never work in that city again. They'll never work as a judge or police officer or whatever have you again. This is how you control them. Oh, yeah. Wyatt Tribe knows. We know. If y'all need any help, the email should be on the screen. Hit us up. We got you. You need the tools to get them off of you? We got you. Let's continue. This is the same manual. The federal regulations also contain additional requirements related to the expedited process. Proceedings conducted pursuant to either the expedited judicial or expedited administrative process must be presided over by an individual who is not a judge of the court. Let me read that again. Proceedings conducted pursuant to either the expedited judicial or expedited administrative process must be presided over by an individual who is not a judge of the court. Orders established by expedited process must have the same force and effect under state law as orders established by full judicial process. Although either process may provide that a judge first ratify the order, within these broad limitations, each state is free to design an expedited process that is best suited to its administrative needs and legal traditions. See? It's all a game. It's all fraud. It's all fraud. But these are the people that take out your check, and what they're doing, they're going out and giving it to their colleagues. They laughing at you, and they giving it to their family. They go out on these expensive trips all off your dollar. So they locating absent parents. In pursuing cases, child support officials try to obtain a great deal of information and several documents from the custodial parent or other sources. These include the name and address of the non-custodial parent, the non-custodial parent's social security number. Remember 42 USC 666? That's the socials underneath that too. You've been had, bamboozled, hoodwinked. You've been tricked. What happened if you don't have a social security number? So what happens if you have your own jurisdiction? They can't mess with you. So they need that social to get you. So remember, your social is connected to your car, your house, that address, your job. Why do they know who you are, but you don't know who they are? They know everything about you. Why? Because you work for the government. You're not supposed to know that. Remember this. I'm going to leave you with something. A father has offspring, and a legal father doesn't. What does that mean? A father has offspring, and a legal father is the trustee to a fictitious child. So this is why if you hit the child or whatever, and they go to school with marks, they're coming to your house with another one of their trustees, CPS. Mm-hmm. So if they take the child out the house, they need to find a different trustee for that child, which is their trust instrument. They own that child. So I'm telling you all now, get your own jurisdiction. You don't want CPS there? You don't want child support in your business? Get your own jurisdiction and learn this law and stand on it. Most of y'all fight on the internet. Y'all can cuss out Shirley. Y'all can cuss out Jamal and Hakeem. But y'all bitch up when it comes to these organizations who are controlled by colonizers that got you. Some of y'all celebrating this bullshit day today. Mm-hmm. There is no case number assigned to your court case when you got to go to court for child support. There's no case number. I dare you. If you got a court case right now on child support, go look at the case. There's no case assigned until there is an order created by the tribunal. Until there's an order. The entire system is bullshit. It's fraud. Now, remember that term we kept seeing, legal. What is legal? Statutory law. Legal is defined as the undoing of God's law. And that's the source right there. It's the undoing of natural law, the undoing of your ancestors' law. So all this legal mumbo jumbo shit, this legalese, is just another way for them to control us. It's just another way. That's it. It's another way for them to control you and get control over your human offspring. They don't give a damn about you. They don't care about the best interests of the child. That's what I'm saying. Stay out of their courtrooms. Stay out of them. Get your own jurisdiction and go back to how your ancestors used to be. I'm not saying that you won't have no problems. I mean, problems are a part of life. But get your own jurisdiction, family. So with that being said, we have been on here for about 50 minutes. I'm pretty sure people are going to watch this, you know, when it's all said and done. Rewatch it. Take notes. You have questions, you can email us. You need our services, hit us up. We got you. We don't charge arm and legs or whatever. All we ask is that when you come to us, you come with a clear mind. You erase all that stuff you learned on YouTube or any other internet place. And all we ask is that you listen and you are not scared. Don't be afraid of these people. This is the beginning of us getting our land back. So we got to put stuff down like child support. We got to put stuff down like student loans and stuff like that. So that's the next thing we'll be talking about, student loans.
I did want to say something because I know a lot of women are going to see this and watch this and they're going to be like, he going to take care of his baby. What they have to understand is that putting the man on child support really it's not really beneficial for you. You think you're getting this money and all this stuff, but it's really not doing a thing for you. What it's doing is it's acknowledging the fact that the state is pretty much your child's father. And it puts you in the position of being able to really lose your children at the drop of a dime, no matter what happens. If they get word or hear any little simple thing that happens, oh, you're unfit now. And that's what they really want to do because they want to be able to pass that child around to wherever they need it to be. You have to understand that the signing of the birth certificate, even if the father does sign it, there's still two other signatures on there. That of the Secretary of State, which deems them a guardian of the child, and that of the physician, which also deems the physician a guardian of the child, which then does what? Put money in their pockets. That's all this is. So you have to look at the overall picture and not just what you're going to get once a month or what have you. It's something greater and grander that's happening here. That's just the facade. That's the cover up to get you to go along with it and be okay with it. It's hurting you in the long run.
Absolutely. That was very, very well said. Very. I couldn't have put that better myself. You're absolutely right. It's all the company, it's all the business. They don't care. They don't care at all. You have anything else you want to say, Diosa?
No, I do want to thank everybody who did come in and check it out. I know today is a big holiday for a lot of y'all, not necessarily us, but we do appreciate those who did come in and spend some time with us live here. Please share this video out. It's very important that we get out of what we have, what we thought we knew, what we thought we learned that was supposed to be positive for us. They're not teaching us law that we're supposed to know. They're teaching us law that they want us to know.
Exactly.
So we want to correct that. And I, for one, am a big fan of correction. Correct me where I'm wrong so that I can be right for the rest of my life. So that's what we're offering here.
Absolutely. Okay, with that being
What
said,
did
we can.
Natural say?
I'm eating turkey while watching it. Oh man. Wow.
Turkey. Wow. Well, with that being said,
oh man. He got me with that one.
y'all have
I
a
could
great
just picture him
evening.
with a big ass drumstick like this.
This is turkey.
Oh man. With that being said, we're going to
My
end the live and
goodness.
let everybody get back to what they were doing. Thank you so much for coming out. Like I always say, you could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate that in my Jay-Z voice. So we're going to go ahead and end it. Please share, like, subscribe if you haven't. And also check out Big Prin's channel. Check out Dr. Fatu. Check out my brother Natural. Like I said, if you need any services or anything that we offer, just hit us up. Any genealogy services, child support, if you need any student loans, credit, We offer a plethora of things. We have a book coming too. You're going to love this book. I don't want to give away the secret of what's coming. You know, I just want them to see it. I want them to see it. And they're going to be so shocked because nobody's doing this. So, no, this is definitely innovative. This is definitely something different. So I want them to see it. And it's not just a book, but I want them to see it. I'm not going to say anything. But with that being said, we want to say thank you all for coming out, and
yeah, Pokey.
And you have a wonderful day.
All right. Peace.